But first tonight, Anthony Albanese is officially a reject, like a dud date who thinks he's in a relationship but has actually been friend-zoned. In fact, he's had 3 rejections in the space of 2 weeks. Gee, take the hint, Albo. First, he couldn't secure a security agreement with Vanuatu during his tour of the Pacific. Then he couldn't secure a security treaty with Papua New Guinea in the same week. And now, for a second time, he could not secure a bilateral meeting with Donald Trump at the United Nations General Assembly in New York. As I said, Anthony Albanese is a reject. He's sitting like a wallflower, just waiting to be picked. And the message from the Trump administration is loud and clear. Australia is not a priority. And this is how you know you're in the deep freeze.
The president will also be hosting bilateral meetings with the UN Secretary General and the leaders of Ukraine, Argentina, and the European Union.
OK, so Ukraine, Argentina, the UN and EU leaders, so there's absolutely no room in the schedule for Albo?
The president will also later in the day hold a multilateral meeting with Qatar, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, Turkey, Pakistan, Egypt, the UAE, and Jordan.
Gee, it's like watching Oprah. You get a meeting, everyone gets a meeting, except for Albo. Trump is meeting with everyone except Albo.
After these important meetings, the president will attend a reception tomorrow night with more than 100 world leaders before returning to Washington, D.C.
Well, that might be his only shot at the reception, and all it will be is a handshake. No bilateral meeting, not even 20 minutes. Rejected once at the G7 in June was bad, rejected twice. Now that's just humiliating. And this really is an utter failure of foreign policy, though hardly surprising. Anthony Albanese has no personal connection with the US president. He's gone against our #1 ally in recognising a Palestinian state. He has said no to the Trump administration's demands for us to lift our defence spending. Labor had no comment for days after the US took out Iran's nuclear facilities. Anthony Albanese has also spent more time in China than trying to build a relationship with Trump. The US ramped up its rhetoric against Beijing, while Anthony Albanese posed with pandas. And of course, the elephant in the room remains Kevin Rudd, who is of course the ambassador to the US, despite his previous comments about the president.
That this madman called Trump could have been elected.
The United States in the last 4 years has been run by a village idiot.
Labor has absolutely trashed this alliance, so no wonder Anthony Albanese is not on the catch-up list, despite his previous assurances that all is under control.
Well, when you see it on your screens, you'll know it's confirmed. So we have a range of meetings, whether it's the UN General Assembly, ASEAN, APEC, so we'll be running into each other regularly.
Oh, when we have a meeting, we'll have a meeting.
Well, of course we will have meetings. There'll be a range of meetings between now and the end of the year with President Trump. I refer to my previous 5,324 answers to that same question.
And look, make no mistake, this failure to secure a meeting with Donald Trump is a big problem for Australia. There is so much on the table right now. We could lose our submarine fleet. The AUKUS agreement is on tenterhooks and is under review by the United States. Anthony Albanese needed to have secured this meeting to get the agreement back on track. This was his chance to come back to Australia with a guarantee, because without those submarines, we will be left exposed and with very little, especially at a time when China is threatening war. And this is dangerous for Australia. The Prime Minister has failed in his mission in the last week in the Pacific to secure security pacts with Vanuatu and PNG because of China's influence in stopping these deals going ahead. Our regional partnerships are falling apart, China's influence is growing, and of course there's the ongoing issues with tariffs, and Albo can't get a meeting with Trump. And have a listen to the way Labor tried to spin its way out of this today.
I think we should see this as a good thing, because it means that the president who's been meeting with world leaders to try and reach agreements on trade policy. He's trying to do deals with other nations around tariffs and trade policy. He doesn't need to do that with Australia.
Really? Good try there, Matt Thistlethwaite. Albo now has to hope and pray he'll get a shot at next month's APEC and ASEAN summits. Otherwise, he'll be waiting by the phone forever.